and welcome to the Viking Home Companion with a story that I call It Ain't All Fun in Lutefisk. Traveling on a longboat ain't as much fun as you might think. Everybody has these images of us out there on the sea, with the sun out, a nice following wind just skipping over the waves. These are the folks that ain't never been sailing on the North Sea going Viking before. Being stuck on a longboat in the middle of the sea with a bunch of guys for weeks and weeks at a time gets old real fast. Now, being a skald, I can spend the time, of course, working on new verses and stories, ya sure. And the fellas are always pestering me to perform. But I can only talk or sing for so long, no matter what anybody thinks. And it doesn't take too long for the fellas to get bored, especially the berserks, since the first thing that we do when we get on board the ship is to lock all their axes up in the sea chest for the trip. So after a while, the winding can get pretty thick and heavy. Are we there yet? I don't remember it taking this long the last time. Sven won't stay on his side of the boat. The Yorkie keeps touching me. I'm bored, there's nothing to do. And of course, Halfdan sitting up there at the tiller gets fed up pretty well with the whole thing. We'll get there when we get there. Don't make me stop this boat. I'll turn this boat around if you don't knock it off. Well, get out the toffel, gang, and play something. I swear it's like listening to all the kids back at the village. The only difference is we're all pretty well stuck with each other until we get to land. So now you all have a really good idea just why we are all so grumpy and excited when we finally do get to where we're going. Now, not everybody on the boat is a berserk, but by the time we make it to land and find a village, we ain't all that far off neither. So after a couple of hours swinging our axes around and burning things, we calm right back down. Of course, the gold and silver and the other goodies don't hurt all that much. But then we gotta get back on that boat to go home again. And it starts all over. Only got more Lutefisk than I did. Why can't Wiglaf have his axe and I gets all locked up in the sea chest? Bjorn keeps getting his oar in my way. I don't want to go home yet. Hey, can we stop in Ireland on the way back? Never mind, of course, that Ireland's the other way from where we're trying to go home. I often wonder just how the ladies manage to put up with us when they finally do make it back. Then again, given that most of them are just as good with axes as the boys and pretty quick with the frying pans, I suppose that most of the fellas have learned to settle down real fast once we get back home. Now on this trip, things got so bad that by the time we got to within sight of England, Halfdan was ready to beach the boat and run the fellas up and down the shore, chasing them back and forth with his axe until they all settled down. But as luck would have it, as we got close, we could see the telltale signs of smoke, kind of coming up from the chimneys of a village that couldn't be far away. Now there were trees all along the top of the beach, so we could have a good cover to sneak up on them once we got onto land, or so we thought. Turns out there were some Saxons gathering things from the beach and the edges of the trees and spotted us coming. Sven said something about them spotting us and to get ready to have some fun. Then Bjorn really got my attention when he said that he could see that there were some women out there too. And one of them was coming right down the beach towards us. Well, I turned around and there she was. Flaming red hair, dreamy white skin, luscious rosy lips. I was entranced, and I just could not resist, even though I should know better. And as I finally made it off the ship, out of the water, past the berserks, and all the way up to the beach, and I got all the way up to the lady, and I reached out with my tender, eager arms, and her frying pan caught me right upside the head with a clang so loud that everybody stopped to marvel at the tone. I don't remember much after that. When I woke up later back on the boat, I noticed that quite a few of the other fellas didn't look in much better shape than I did. We all knew that redheads with frying pans and battle axes can be a bit of a problem. But we figured this woman had to have a bit of troll in her somewhere, and it would probably be a pretty good idea not to make any more visits to that particular village. Yeah, sure, you betcha.